Hey guys, this is War Machine 395 here with a video review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the high-grade Exia mold. There's like 10 million variants of that now, but they're all pretty much the same. Anyway, alright, so where to start off here? I've got three here, snapped. So we have the R2. It's got a few standard Exia parts on it. The R2 doesn't normally have the beam sabers on the back. I just kind of like it like that, I guess. Astria, okay, and better part of the Avalanche, all here. Just for basic articulation, we're going to go over the Astria because it matches the original exactly. The Avalanche has a little more bulk to it, so it's a little less. And the R2 has a change in the hip joints that makes it slightly more articulated in the legs. It's easier to get it to stand, actually, the R2. It's an odd thing. Anyway, so starting here, the head has a ball joint inside. Okay, whoop, there we go. And a ball joint inside the chest. So it kind of gets the whole chicken head movement, and it can rotate. Mind you, it can rotate a little bit less than the standard Exia because of the fins here and on the side of the head, the rabbit ears that get in the way. Okay, from there, I'm actually going to attach this because it makes it so much easier to do. Okay, there we go. So, what you have right there next to the chest, this is actually my favorite part about the Exia, is how the components that go around the chest actually move around. So these bits here go on a ball joint at the back of the chest, alright, and then these shoulders just peg on, just like that. It's real simple. I like that. That's easily my favorite part of the Exia mold. That little design tweak that is actually kind of unique to this kit is honestly my favorite part of it. So just a peg here. I think it's a peg inside the chest as well. It doesn't really move up or down, it just goes in and out. Okay, so in and out, out, in and out, in and out, in and out, just like that. Real simple. Anyway, from there, I'm going to show you the arm while it's still detached. Okay, so the shoulder armor, you can get almost 90 degrees out. Okay, and because it's on a peg, of course, out the side, you can rotate a full 360 around where it was attached. Okay, so below the shoulder, you'll find that it's all a peg right here. Okay, so it's actually just going to rotate full 360 at that point. I'm going to get this apart. Can I? No, I'll just do it this way. There you go. So, just a peg inside the arm. Okay, so that just swivels till it hits itself again. So, a little more than 90 on the basic Exia mold. A little bit less on the R2 because it gets a little more bulk on the inside of the forearms. Even less on the Avalanche because it gets even more bulk on the forearms. Really though. So you're only ever going to get about 90 for most of the Exia molds. Okay, from there, I'm going to reassemble that real quick. Okay. Alright, the chest block is actually one solid piece. Okay, so you're not going to get anything from that, which is kind of rare amongst the 00 kits. They usually have some sort of joint up inside in the middle of the chest and kind of, but no, I think the Exia is probably one of the simpler ones, really. Okay, now at the waist we have a lovely ball joint with a secondary ball joint in the middle here in the crotch. Okay, so it can swivel all over the place. It's pretty loose. Then a ball joint right there at the hip. Okay, solid piece down to the knee. And again, different parts for the R2. Go over that in a second. Legs are actually kind of double jointed, which is great, and feature a bit of shifting armor, I guess is what I'd call it. So the knees shift upwards and slides over this part. Looks quite nice when it does that. Alright, now, usually you have the clear parts here. Astrea, of course, has hard points. Continuing on, alright, the ankle guard lifts up that high, okay? Not super high, doesn't need to go super high anyway. The legs are on a peg joint this way, okay, so it can swivel up and down, plus the ball joint inside the foot. The foot is a solid piece, don't expect like toe articulation. Alright, right, so that's it for the basic Exia mold. So if you get the original Exia or the Astrea, that's the kind of articulation you can get. The R2, the only major change is at the hips, where it adds a single peg joint that goes down into the leg a little bit. So, right like that, which allows it to swivel. In my opinion, it makes it a little easier to get it to stand in a few poses. Few aesthetic changes. I mean, it comes with all the parts to make the standard Exia mold. Alright, so like I said, I left a few of the regular Exia parts on here because I like the look of them better. From there, just have chin covers a little more bulky. I'll show you side by side. Okay, so you get an all white part. Forearms are a little more bulky. Alright, and back of the arm right here, you get like a elbow pad, I guess. Alright, and as I mentioned before, hips and back skirts, which I left as the regular Exia parts, so you don't see those. Shoulders are also slightly different, don't have the beam saber holders on the back. Yeah, and that about covers the differences for the R2 mold. Alright, and Avalanche is a separate deal altogether. Really, its major difference is you've got some added bulk to it, which actually limits articulation even more. So, expect less with the Avalanche. Okay, it also only includes the regular Exia parts, so it matches Astrea exactly, minus some articulation because of the bulk. There we go. That clarifies a little better. Alright, so, let's see here. Now, I'm going to be doing some work on these in the next few days. So, this will be the last possible opportunity to go over the Exia molds. I've already used the Exia's, the standard sabres, swords, from the Exias for the most part. Now, there we go. So there's the R2's GN Sword Kai. Alright, here's with that. That, of course, swings down. It's a little slimmer than the original blade. A little longer, I think, too. This also includes the regular shield that the original Exia mold came with. Yeah, and I'm trying to grab up the swords real quick. Alright, GN long and short shorts. Those, of course, mount on the hips. I don't have them on there because I don't really like the look of them, to be honest. I mean, I've got the point for a sword, and I guess the balance for a sword, too, but they just don't seem particularly functional to me. Anyway, so that's my review of the Exias. Really, it's a really basic high-grade kit, so there isn't much to add to that. It's not part intensive, it's fairly cheap. Really, it comes down to whether you like the design or not. Anyway, so thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you at the next review.